Welcome to the GMetrix Learner Experience. In this webinar, we will look at how a learner will log in, start a test, and the features within the training mode of a test, resume a save test, retrieve a school report, access the study guide, and access any courses. I want to remind you of support.gmetrix.net. This is where you can find our knowledge base that includes how-to guides for many of our features. GMetrix.com, where you can find a list of our products, GMetrix.net, which is our student portal, and manage.gmetrix.net, which is our admin portal. I also want to remind you to stay connected with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as YouTube. We will begin by navigating to our student portal at gmetrix.net. Once there, the learner will enter their username and password and choose sign in, or they may select one of the single sign-on options, which include Clever, Google, and Microsoft, depending on what your organization has made available. Once the learner has logged into GMetrix, their recent activities will show up here on the dashboard, and when they're ready to start a new test, they will go to Test and then New Test. You will choose the product that you are taking the test for. I'm going to choose my GS6, and then I have 3 levels of GS6. I'm going to choose level 1, and then I have 2 options, training mode and testing mode. Training mode comes with the help button and immediate feedback after each question. It does also have a timer that counts up. Testing mode does not give feedback until after the entire test is completed. There is no help button, and the timer counts down. Once the timer reaches 0, then the test will close. I will start my test in training mode so that you can view the features. It will give you the option to resume your latest save practice test or start a new test. I'm going to choose to start a new test. It is giving me the option of different access codes because I have more than one access code in. I'm in my questions, and first thing I want to point out here is ID number. This is the question ID number. So if you feel that there is a problem with the question, if it's not giving you the correct answer or the wording with the question, you will report that question on the support website, and this is the ID number that you will need to give. If you choose here, you can go to the questions, and it will have all of the questions listed out, and you can choose a question that you'd like to go through so you do not have to go through them in order. Notice if the box is blank, it means that it was not answered. You can mark the question for review. It'll show the red flag, and if you answer the question, it'll show the green checkbox. You have the save and exit button. This is where you can choose to leave the test and come back to it at a later time. This button makes the text bigger with the questions. You can click it up to 3 times to make the text 3 times bigger, and then go back to the normal size. The light bulb here is for our help. It will give you help right on screen, and it will not count against you when you are taking the practice exam that you use the help button, but it will give you information on each to help you determine your answer. And then you can mark the answer for review. If you want to go to a different question, you may choose to skip the question. You also have the option to reset a question if you started it and you change what you want to change what you're doing. Just choose the reset button and the answers will be cleared out. You have the option to go to the previous question, and you can go to the next question. Once you click next, and you did not answer the question, it will tell you that your answer is incorrect, and it will come with an explanation for why the answer is incorrect. You do have the option to go back, as this is training mode, this is for learning, and choose the correct answers. If you get the incorrect answers, it will tell you again, and you will again have the option to go back and choose the correct answers, as again, this is the training mode. You go to the next question, and it will give you the explanation as to the question. This is part of our remediation. And if you are ready to exit the test and come back to it later, again, you have the save and exit button. It will give you the option to close this and resume your test, or save and exit. And if you save and exit your test and you want to come back to it later, you choose test and choose save tests. Once you are within your save test, you will notice all of your recently started tests on your dashboard. You will be able to see the mode where the training or testing, as well as the date and time started. Click to open the test that you would like to resume. Sometimes learners will start tests and they will start the same test over and over again because they cannot navigate back to the test that they had already started. If this becomes the case, just remind them to go to their saved test to try to restart the test that they were working on rather than starting a new test. Once the learner has completed the test, they are able to go to completed test, and here is where they will be able to see all the tests that they have completed and review their school reports for the test. Upon completing an exam, the learner will be able to see their school report. The school report will tell them what exam that they completed, the time spent, the score, the date finished, the mode, and the product. They will be able to review the missed questions for the exam, see a pass, fail, a score, and words of encouragement. There will also be a breakdown to show you where you did well and where you would likely need to spend additional time. Within the question tab, you'll be able to see all of the questions that were on the exam and whether you got them correct or incorrect. Correct and incorrect questions come with an explanation as to why. So reviewing this will help you master the exam in the future. You'll also be able to see the objectives that were within the exam and see how you did on each objective. The objectives are aligned with the actual exam. So this will help you be able to see more so what you would be doing on an actual exam and how you could do. You will also be able to go to the study guide from here. This is one way to access the study guide. Another way would be to click study guide. All of your exams would come up and you would choose which exam that you want to see. The study guide does give you an overview of information. You will be able to view objectives, do a quick review, or view all the questions available for the exam. Again, the objectives do align with the actual objectives for the test, so it gives you a good feedback as to where you stand when studying for your certification exam. And then you have the overall objectives here that give you information as well. The last part of our GMetrix learning experience is courses. If you have purchased a course with your GMetrix product and you have added the access code and your learners have redeemed it, they will need to go to the sidebar and choose courses. The course that you have purchased and added to your access code will come up. You see here for the GS6 product, we have the level 1, 2, and 3. Just choose the course and it will open. Once you navigate to the Learn Key course, you do have a glossary that will have all the terms contained within the Learn Key course, as well as terms that are going to be on the GMetrix practice exam, as well as the industry certification exam. The learner will have access to flashcards, a memory game, and a quiz. Each domain does align with the objectives for the exam. And within each domain, you will have a pre-assessment as well as a post-assessment, videos, labs, and the student workbook. One thing to note that within the student workbook, they are able to write in the workbook, and then they can download the workbook pages with their changes or without their changes. And those can be saved to the computer and turned into your LMS. There's also the option to print the materials. The pages of the student workbook do correspond with the lesson that the student is working on. To get access to the entire workbook at once, you want to choose reference material. and this will give you the entire workbook for level 1 as well as the student support files. The student workbook and support files is also available in the GMetrix admin panel as well as the teacher workbook and support files. Learners will also be able to view their activity report. This will tell them how they progress through the Learn Key course, what their progress was, as well as the total time. Once they have completed it, there will be a certificate available for printing. And you can choose to print it or download it. After you finish the course, you may exit the course. If you exit the course without completing it, your work will be saved. You will be able to return to the course and complete it without having to restart it. You choose exit, choose leave course, and you will be returned back to the GMetrix practice exams. Thank you for joining us for the GMetrix Learner Experience.